Hi, I'm Shannon with Itsy Bitsy Book Bits, and here's what readers are saying about Lone King by K.M. Scott. The fourth book in the King Brothers series by K.M. Scott features billionaire Marius King. Following the relationship between Marius and Duck, this story spans over 2 years and includes flashback moments. It can be read as a standalone book. The fairy tale often begins with meeting someone, falling in love, getting married, and living happily ever after, right? Marius understands what love is and isn't afraid to embrace it. Although he has loved before, and that experience didn't end well, he believes this time will be different. As the middle child of 5 boys, he had been lost in his large family before. While it's not necessarily a bad thing, is it wrong for him to want something just for himself? For Duck, it's the fairy tale beginning of a beautiful life. Her handsome knight in shining armor rescues her from a deadbeat ex-boyfriend and sweeps her off her feet. She knows what she wants, and that is Marius. What more could she ask for? Join Duck and Marius as they navigate their journey from a seemingly perfect happily ever after to discovering what it means to have a real and enduring love, complete with a few bumps along the way. I didn't expect to enjoy a book that begins with a couple already in love, as that's usually the story everyone anticipates. However, K.M. Scott takes you on a journey that reveals even true love can encounter challenges. This is a truly well written book, and I look forward to reading more from this author. That review came from Nicole Simpson on Goodreads. Here is what Angela had to say on Goodreads. 4 stars. Lone King is the fourth book in the King Brothers series by K.M. Scott. This series follows the King brothers, with each brother getting their own installment. This time, it is Marius's turn. To all, he appears to love his single life, enjoying the freedom to do whatever and whoever he pleases. But despite his reputation as the perpetually single King brother, he has a big secret, like huge. He's secretly been in a deeply fulfilling relationship with the love of his life for 2 years. He's happier and more fulfilled than he ever thought possible, but she wants to share their happiness with the world. Only he's not ready to burst their love bubble just yet. It really is only a matter of time before their secret is revealed. So, what happens? You really should read all the dramatic developments for yourself. Bring on book number 5. Happy reading! This one comes from Miss Marissa on BookBub. If you have been following this series, you know that we are getting Marius' story. He has a secret that he has been keeping for over 2 years. It comes to light in the most horrible way. Marius is the middle brother. Yep, smack dab in the middle of the 5 King brothers. He feels that this is his identity. The middle brother, not the oldest or the youngest, not the wild one or the one destined to take over the company, not the stable and secure one, not the artist, not any of the other labels his brothers seem to carry. Marius is just the middle brother. All his life, he has shared everything with them because that is just the way it was. This time, this secret Marius wants to keep it to himself. He wants this to be just his, except it isn't. And by keeping this secret, Marius ends up hurting the one person he truly cares about, his duck. Duck is the nickname he gave her. She hates it. Well, maybe not as much as she did when Marius first started calling her it. She has loved Marius for years before they got together, and the 2 years since they married. Marius wanting to keep their love a secret is eating away at her confidence and their relationship. When Duck puts her foot down about finally telling people about their marriage, Marius balks and does something stupid, which leads to the big reveal. Now, Marius must win his duck back. This story brought in so many elements of the King brothers. It was wonderfully written. Marius and Duck are fantastic characters. The love he has for her is mwah, chef's kiss beautiful. I mean, she said she didn't want to meet in hotels anymore, so he bought her a $15 million penthouse. Yeah, devoted. The way Marius is about to grow, yep, I love this King brother. Amazing read. Here is one from Michael Mahoney on Amazon. I really enjoyed this one. It grabbed me right from the start and didn't let go. The story has heat from page one, and the chemistry between Marius and Duck is the kind that feels both fun and addictive. What I loved most, though, is that this isn't your typical billionaire romance with flashy cars and boardroom drama. Instead, it's about two people who are completely wrapped up in each other but keeping it private, which adds a whole extra layer of tension. Watching Marius wrestle with wanting to keep things quiet while Duck pushed for more was such a relatable dynamic. It made the relationship feel real, not just fantasy. The writing is smooth and easy to sink into, and the dual perspective gave both characters real depth. I loved getting Marius's cocky, playful voice alongside Duck's more thoughtful take on their not so conventional romance. It's spicy, but it's also got heart, which is what made me care about them beyond the steam. And can we talk about the playlist? I absolutely loved that the author put one together for the book. It made the reading experience feel immersive, like a soundtrack for their love story. It's such a clever touch, and it added to the vibe in the best way. Overall, this was a fun, sexy, and surprisingly I heartfelt read. I'll definitely be looking for more in this series because if the other King Brothers stories are anything like this one, I'm all in. Our last review comes from Janique Bornman on Amazon. A heartfelt, addictive romance. Lone King by K.M. Scott is an emotional, passionate, and beautifully written story that grabs you from the very first page. Marius is the king brother who hides his heart behind a carefree exterior. But beneath it all, he's deeply in love with Duck, the woman who changes everything for him. Their relationship, secretive yet full of raw devotion, makes this book impossible to put down. K.M. Scott perfectly balances sizzling chemistry with tender vulnerability, showing that love isn't always about grand gestures. It's about quiet moments, unshakable loyalty, and risking it all when the truth comes out. Marius and Duck's journey is both relatable and swoon-worthy, and it left me smiling long after the last page. If you love a romance that blends heat, heart, and just the right amount of drama, Lone King is a must read. K.M. Scott has delivered another winner. Thanks so much for tuning in to hear what readers are saying about Lone King by K.M. Scott. See you next time.